something of the Olympic Games, but the Olympic Games for climbing start right now. Podcast episode number 5, male semi-final bouldering round. How do you feel?
What a ride, man. That was wild. That was an incredible round. Very, very low scoring. But yeah, we saw some amazing things. What do you think?
Uh,
First impressions.
First impressions is like I like that they turned it up from the 10 to 15 no, 10 to 25 points.
Yeah.
So I always had the feeling that it's a little bit too easy from 10 to 25, but now it was just like a smack into the face,
Yeah.
and it was great.
Felt like a proper scoring difference. Like if you top,
Yeah,
you're basically into the next round.
yeah.
Even without the lead, you know.
Do you
Big
think so?
difference. No, probably not. But a big difference between 10 and 25 this time for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I was surprised that or maybe we started, like, I took some notes, and
Oh, did you?
I wanna ask you, what do you think about the presentation? Because I was complaining again, and you were like, oh no.
Yeah, I think it was kind of similar to all climbing competitions. Like the camera angles were not perfect. However, they were better than I've seen in the past. We didn't get any split screens, but at least we got a good spread of what was going on. There were some really important moments, like they switched away from Jakob while he
Yeah.
was topping the first boulder. What's the point? Why did they do that? So yeah, like minor issues, but there were no issues with the clock, which was great, and there were no issues with the commentary, in my opinion. We had Matt Groom and Shauna Coxey this time.
Oh,
They
that's
know what
good.
they know what they're talking about. Shauna talks too much,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah,
And
I was
what
watching.
did you have?
Yeah, I had German telly and the guy Tobias Banasau. I think he tries his best. Like he's not from climbing. He gets his information from the German team, obviously, and a little bit from Benny Hartmann, the Japanese coach,
Yeah.
German dude as well. And he can give him a lot of information about just like Asian climbers and the Japanese team. And of course, like climbing is way too complex, especially if it's like 4 people at the same time at the wall. He was complaining a little bit about the camera angles, like he got that right, that there was like some action missing. And sometimes he confused like characters. He was like Yannick Floyer, lead specialist, not as good at bouldering. I was like, But honestly, like if you come from the outside, like if you don't know anything about climbing, I think he did a good job. And he was able to like I think the angle to explain it about like the 4 different styles of bowlers makes way more sense, like to transport the message. Okay, this is a power bowler. Now we have an electric bowler, coordination bowler, and then a slab
Technical.
again. And I think that
Was
good.
your guy able to transmit the way the scoring worked?
Yeah, somehow, like I think he did not explain like that each missed attempt to a zone or like to a 5 or to a 10 like deducts 0.1 points or whatsoever. But
Yeah, we didn't really get that either.
yeah, maybe he said it once, but in the end, like for most people, it's like 5, 10, 25,
Yeah.
and I think that was good. Otherwise,
5,
like
10, 25, and then you don't really need to worry too much about attempts because it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
only matters count back, right?
yeah, I think so too. And otherwise, like yeah, I think the camera worked like so. For all people not knowing, this is like the IFSC team working on the Olympic stage again, like the French broadcasting company, and they're doing the same mediocre job. From my opinion, from my point of view, as always, I think it could be better. But yeah, I think they're going away from split screens because they want the emotions, but sometimes a little bit too many faces.
It's camera angles and it's moving away from important moments at the wrong time. Why
Yeah.
do they always do it?
Uh,
It seems so obvious. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think they have like a really good director in their box.
I suspect it's a much harder job than we think it is. So I'm willing to give them a little bit of leeway.
I'm not really, because like I've done it at Studio Blockmasters or like with the guys who do Studio Blockmasters, and it's literally like you have 2 screens. Like you on the left side you have one screen which shows like 12 different camera angles, and then you see like a yellow frame which is like the next frame blending in, and you can talk to the directors and be like, okay, can I have camera 6 now? And then you see like a big screen. The problem is like the IFSC, or that's what Matt told me, is like that they don't see like the other camera angles, so they rely only passively like on the director, and he said it's like easier for him. But I think this is not the future. To like, if you're good at your job, and I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I'm like, it's not difficult to to take a look at the live screen, and take a look like once in a while at the left screen, like at the different camera angles.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a duo commentating. So I think this is not good.
In their defense, it also happened in the track and field. Like,
Yeah.
it happens all the time. You see someone running up to a high jump bar, and then they'll cut to like a track event, and they're halfway through. It's like it must just be an overall problem with sports coverage. If you're covering multiple things at the same time, it must be so difficult. But yeah, I don't know. In comparison to some climbing competition streams and World Cup competition streams, I would say this is okay. It's pretty good.
And it'll become better because like in the in the finals, like there will only be like 2 people bouldering at the same time maximum, and then it's all about the lead, where it's just like there are 100-meter sprint. So what do you think about the presentation yesterday, the 100 meters? Like,
oh my god, it was insane. It's like a theatre show. I get that. I've been watching track and field athletics for 20 years or something, like a really long time now, because I used to be involved in it, and I've never seen sprinting so hyped up as it is now. Like Noah Lyle's coming out and like jumping up and down on the track and running to the 50-meter line. It's like, what is going on? This is wild.
I didn't know you would be allowed like to go out of like your zone and like run down the lane. Like I would be like super mad if I was like one of the other competitors, honestly.
Yeah, sure. But then they just have to do that in future now.
Yeah.
They have to take up the mantle and play with the mind games, because they're allowed to do it now. Like it's amazing. And the show was sick. That was the closest 100-meter final I've ever seen. Insane.
Yeah, I also didn't know, or I didn't remember. Like I'm watching like all the track and fields. Like my first memory is like Michael Johnson. I think like Atlanta '96 with his golden shoes, like running the world record. And then, but I didn't remember that they come out of the isolation zone or whatsoever. Then there's an athlete presentation 1, like where they go out of the gate. Then the second athlete presentation when they're in front of their starting blocks. Yeah. But then they're like just standing around for 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I think this is new.
Okay.
Like it doesn't make sense to me why they were stood around for such a long period of time. And previously they haven't had the double introduction. Usually they all come out in one go, and then they have an individual introduction whilst they're stood in front of their blocks. Yeah. But clearly they're trying to make track and field athletics more presentable or more exciting by giving them like 2 introductions. So cool. Yeah.
Epic. Okay,
so epic.
I think the climbing introduction, like on the finals, will be like really good as well, because like the French crowd was super loud and noisy. So presentation, camera work. Yeah, I my note here as well. When Paul entered, Paul Jenf, I had goosebumps. Honestly, like the first French athlete entering, like they were going wild. I loved that. Yeah.
And then Sam too. Happened with Sam as well. It's going to happen with Ariane. It's going to be amazing.
True. Yeah, all my other notes are about climbing itself. So
we should talk about climbing, because that's the podcast. Should we just talk about the result overall, or do you want to go boulder by boulder first?
I don't really mind. Like maybe we go boulder by boulder.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do boulder.
So boulder 1 was boulder 1 power boulder.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried. Like right at the start of the competition, I was a little bit concerned because we had some of the lesser names, let's say, and there were not much chance of getting the 5 points. But as it progressed, pretty cool. Strange, hard boulder to read at the top. I didn't really understand how the match was intended, and the foot looked like it was too far right. There was a lot going on.
I was a little bit surprised, like when Hamish came out, because I thought like, okay, Hamish is like not the strongest, but like at least like strong, and like getting the foot over to the right looked a little bit like lengthy, but I think you just had to find like the right position, like with the right hand on the pinch to move it over.
Yeah.
And like Jakob, crazy. Told you, my favorite, Jakob. getting his job back around the
He
waist and just like resting and taking a look for a position.
he's just an animal. Like
Yeah.
like our commentary team said he turned the boulder into a mini lead route. He just stayed up there for stayed up there for like a minute and a half until he found the position. So cool.
Yeah, but super smart climbing as well. Like looking at it and being like, okay, this is like the only like really safe position where I can probably take a rest.
Hmm.
I so for the boulder number one we had three tops. No, we almost had
Two.
three tops. It was
So,
Jakob, Zorato, and Toby fell. And
Toby looked like he was almost touching underneath, but I
yeah,
don't think the camera was able to show exactly what happened. So I assume he fell. I
yeah.
assume his left hand popped and he fell.
I thought he touched it like left hand here, right hand like just like into one of the screws of the yellow volume.
Yeah,
I thought he touched it long enough,
yeah,
especially with his like sitting on his heel. And I'm pretty convinced if he would come down, just smile and be like raise his arms,
yeah.
that it would be like probably like a good chance for him to get it. But
Like the judge sees that and then they
yeah,
give it because they give them benefit of the doubt. Yeah,
mhm,
but his whole body was covering the hand position anyway, so
mm,
I feel like maybe the judge wouldn't have given it.
yeah,
But he was cool. It was close. Very good.
yeah. I really like that it like really turned up from 10 to 15, and that a lot of like powerful climbers like Yannick Flohe, Do-Hyun Lee surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
Tomorrow as well, like that they didn't have like any chance to do the
No
top.
chance. Even Magos, you know, like you would expect Magos to have some progress, but not
Yeah,
so much.
yeah. And the
Um,
smartest was probably Adam, just like giving one shot, getting into the top position, being like, okay, I'm going now, I'm leaving. So
yeah,
probably like one of my favorite power bowlers in the past on this panel.
yeah. What do you think of that panel?
I hate that panel. I I don't think it's nice. Like with the roof lip, like 60-degree overhanging is nice, but like the start again was like really lame start, like from the side going into the steepness, just to,
Mm.
like to create a zone.
I suspect it would be cooler if it was like 60 something, but continuous, and it didn't have that angle change. The angle change for
Mm.
me kind of kills it.
Yeah,
I want to see like a steep boulder, like 50-degree maybe, all the way from the bottom to the top.
yeah, it could be like
Yeah.
50-degree, just like steep moonboard climbing. Yeah, but
And the arete seems to be unnecessary. I don't really know why the arete's there. Doesn't really work for that style, for power. But
yeah.
maybe it works for electric and coordination if they put it there.
I think they change the styles. For me, it's always like it feels like styles are always like on the same panel.
It's usually power on the far right and slab on the far left. But
Yeah,
I think there's potential to change it. Like the slab could go in the second to left. The power could go second to right. We did that at Parthian.
yeah,
Let's see. Actually, that's a good point. I'd like to keep track of that.
yeah.
I think they'll move it around a little bit.
Okay, well, let's see. But yeah, for this panel, I think was my favorite bowler so far. Like of
Very
all the
good,
of
yeah.
all the bowlers, like on this panel, like the power bowlers was really good.
Yeah, I think it's a challenging panel to set.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
really, and really entertaining boulders. So they did a good job for sure.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So next boulder we had electric.
The
Electric. One solitary top by Serrato right at the end.
yeah,
So a lot of guys got to the 10. A lot of guys were able to try the 25, but seemingly unable to get enough height to catch the undercut at the same time.
yeah. It looked ridiculously like easy when he did it, right? Like he just went
Yeah.
a little bit further to the right, a little bit higher, so he got it as
Yeah.
an undercling. Right hand was in a good position, and yeah.
That's
Zorato doing
that's
Zorato
classic.
things.
For that sort of move, it's classic. If you make it look easy,
Yeah,
but if you do it, you have to make it look easy. There's
yeah,
no way of doing it and making it look hard.
yeah.
It's either you do it or you don't do it. It's kind of cool.
What I like
Um,
was that they could make some progress. Like a lot of people got to the 10, right? In
yeah,
like more or less like a few attempts, and then they spent a lot of energy. Even like the first competitor from South Africa at least got the 5.
yeah,
Campbell I think also got a 10. So at least like it feels like one of the bowlers you might be able to do. Maybe.
yes,
Yeah. And but like maybe one top is I'd be interested like to write that down for Sergio. Like once Sergio comes on the podcast, to write or like to know whether they aimed for different amounts of tops for each boulder
Yeah.
or like same amount of tops, what they went for. Yeah, because like one is not enough, I think.
No, I'm sure they predicted more than one for this.
Yeah.
For sure. The electric boulder should have more, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And especially
maybe yeah.
especially like wrapping it up like or putting it together with the coordination boulder, which had 0 tops. So the selection was just via power and slab.
Yeah.
So maybe it's easier like to hit a top like with the slab and the power stuff, or like yeah.
And sorry, I don't have anything to say.
No.
What about the electric and the coordination? For me, always seem to be kind of the same.
Yeah, coordination is a little bit more sideways, right?
Coordination is just sideways, one massive sideways move, and then another one, and then another one back the other way. But this is how it has to be for this format.
Yeah.
It's entertaining when it works, but if everyone gets stuck on that last move, would have been really, really cool to see Serato or Toby do that because they were both kind of close.
Yeah, I was surprised that Toby looked like so good on it.
Yeah, man.
Like comparing Toby to other like climbers who are good on coordination style, yeah, was really, really good. Yeah, I think like they mentioned before, like coordination, like all your limbs have to leave the wall, so you're just flying around like with 4 parts.
Yeah.
Well, electric, like the last move was also like you let go of everything. So
Yeah, I think it comes down to the number of hand moves. So electric is 2 or 3, and then coordination is 3 or more.
yeah, but the last electric move was a coordination move, right? Then because it was like 2 hand moves and a foot stomp.
I don't know. No, I think it's purely down to the number of hand moves.
Okay.
So the last electric move was a double.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, whereas the last coordination move was 1, 2, 3,
okay.
and then the match. So maybe 4. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But like, yeah, I think the coordination stuff, especially on this panel, always goes a little bit sideways. It's a little swingling to the corner. And then what did you think about the like getting to the 10, like the tilted down slopey
cheetah.
volume?
It looked like a path, kind of. It looked like they just did some kind of fairly easy climbing to another setup position. And this is like I don't love this format because you have like an easy-ish move to a setup position, then you have another easiest move to a setup position.
Yeah.
It's all like you do a move to a setup, you do a move to a setup. I'm not sure I like that style. It's just it's 3 coordination moves back to back.
Yeah.
With little gaps in between. It's not like a full show.
Yeah, like a good resting position.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But I like.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think in the boulder. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Within the boulder itself, I liked how Tomora, like how good he was, like getting from the 5 to the 10, just like always like finding the position, just doing one jump, and catching like this little cheetah ram.
Little toe catch.
Yeah. And I want to know, like, yeah, we'll ask Sergio, like, how much they tweaked about it, or like whether they tweaked anything.
That's a good point. We have Sergio coming on the 15th, right?
Yes, in 10 days after the Olympic
confirmed.
finals, Sergio, like one of the Olympic setters, will join us, and yeah, let's see.
I've had some questions regarding the setting and how the setters feel. So instead of speculating, we'll just ask Sergio directly in 10 or so days' time.
Yeah. Speculating. Okay, the slab. I think
the slab was amazing.
The slab was amazing, and the slab again, like, just convinces me, like, or supports me in my theory that we should have like pre-formulated or preset boulders, because it essentially like was one of these like preset boulders. Like
pretty much because
like,
because every slab in this format pretty much is a stand-up move and then a traverse with minimal hands.
Yeah. And
Is that what you mean?
yeah, and who topped it? It topped Sam Avezou was the first one, then Adam Ondra, Tomoa, and Toby.
Yeah. Amazing. Good spread. And Tomoa's top was so sick. Oh my god. This boulder is just perfect. Like, I don't know what to say about it other than it was really perfect. Like hip positioning and delicate standing up. And the last move was super cool. You had to keep your hips like stuck to the wall, as there's no chance. There's no point in going for the final hold. It's all about standing into this starfish position. Yeah, I think that's a good number of tops for that boulder too. 4
Yeah.
tops, nice.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a bit more of that throughout the whole round, but it's okay.
Yeah, I thought like when Hannes van Duysen, like the Belgium guy, didn't do
Yeah.
it or didn't even get the 10, I was like, okay, this could be a disaster because he's
Yeah.
really good on slabs, and because like the slab wasn't too. Apparently, it was really difficult to figure it out, but I thought like, okay, like this guy climbed like slabs like this like many times before.
Yeah.
But you had to execute everything perfectly. It looked a little bit like length dependent at some points, but like some Avezous, I think, not too tall.
No,
He's like
he's kind of short.
170 or
Yeah.
like one of the shorties as well. And you had to execute everything perfectly, and the last move just be a little bit lucky, or like just perfect. Looked
Just
good.
just very French style slab, that isn't it? So Sam had no problems.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And during the whole round, I felt like, okay, Tomoa like should do better, but now he ended up in second position. I was like, okay, should climb boulder number 1. Okay, he didn't do it. I was like, oh no, Tomoa, he should climb boulder number 2. Oh, he again didn't do it. Boulder number 3, Tomoa, what are you doing? No, it's a slab, and then he climbs the slab and ends up
Yeah.
in second position.
And I think because he got the 10s on boulders 2 and 3 relatively quickly, that was very important. Yeah, you can never write Tomoa out, and you can never write Ondra out either. Crazy.
Honor was so good. I'm so happy.
Hmm.
I'm so happy for him. Are you surprised by? Yeah, Alberto.
Yeah.
Alberto needs to keep it up and lead.
I mean, he's going to struggle. Where did Alberto come in the end? He came 14th.
Yeah. It's like
He came 14th with 28 points, so he's
Yeah.
going to have a hell of a good lead round.
it's 6 points behind Hannes van Duysen, so it's like, yeah, maybe we should do like a pre-pick ranking just for lead, just like to see like how this could change spot things up. Because I think from the top, so we got the top 8 right now, which is Sorato, then Tomoa, Toby, Sam Avezou, Adam Ondra, Jakob Schubert, Hannes van Duysen, and Hamish MacArthur. And I think out of these 8 climbers, except for Hannes van Duysen, and if Tomoa is doing Tomoa things,
Yeah.
and Sam Avezou, like the other 5 are solid, really world-class lead climbers.
Yeah.
So, in the people who are not in the top 8 so far, who I consider like really good lead climbers who could catch up, are Colin Duffy,
Yeah.
Alberto,
Yeah.
Sascha Lehmann, and Megos if the route is, not too fancy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to change too much. I think you're right. Alberto and Colin are the only 2 that, for me, could ending up in the top 8.
Yeah, maybe that's my call. I think Alberto and Sascha Lehmann will kick out Hannes and Hamish.
Yes. Yeah, but Hamish is a lead specialist. Don't forget.
Yeah, but the pressure of being on position number 8, like to keep it together. I think the pressure will break him.
But what about Tomoa? Tomoa, let's be honest, Tomoa is not that good at lead compared to these guys.
Yeah, but it's like he has like 25 points over, like he has like 21 points over Colin Duffy, which is like in the harder section, it's like still like 6 moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just can't mess it up.
You just can't mess it up, yeah.
But,
This conversation about whether this format favours lead or boulder, I've been thinking about it quite a lot, and I've decided that it's actually not at all relevant anymore, because the important people, Serato, Toby, Jakob, Ondra, Sam, they're all round specialists. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if they're good at boulder or lead individually. They're just good at both.
yeah.
So I think the format works. The more I think about it, the more I think it's actually fine. It doesn't matter that it favours lead.
Okay. But I'm still missing a world record. Yesterday, there were like
Yeah,
two
you're not
world
good at
records. And yeah, like the like in swimming, like the yellow line. Just like, yeah, I'm
Chasing
missing
the
But-
yellow line.
But I'm really surprised, like how much I like the atmosphere. Yeah, like
The show was really good.
yeah, it felt like pretty Olympic, and there was like a lot of pressure. You felt that?
I'm actually
Like
kind of happy
outside.
that we only got, what was it, 6 or 7 tops overall. I think
Yes.
it made for a really good show.
Yeah.
So what do you think will change between now and the final in terms of boulder? You think they'll switch around the styles?
I don't think so.
So you think power will be on the far right and
Yeah.
techie slab is going to be far left every
Yeah,
time?
yeah, yeah. I think they will like test again like the coordination and the electric bowlers, because
Yeah.
they should be afraid now, or like not afraid, like, but they should be concerned about like if none of the competitors is able, or like if there's no selection, if only one top out of 2 bowlers
Yeah.
out of 16 people, that's not enough.
No.
Or this would favor like if all the other climb like the power and slab again, then it goes back to lead climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Oh.
Always goes to lead climbing, but at least, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, or what do you think? Like you asked, yeah.
Yeah, I need to see more. I need to see more tops on the coordination. I need a
Yeah.
show, you know.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. The coordination provides proper show.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I gotta see it. I gotta see some tops.
Yeah.
Um,
Like they
I
could
think
change
they-
like the order in the finals. Like in the finals,
yeah, I
Well,
think
can
they'll
they?
do that. Yeah, I think they'll
Yeah.
do that. If they're able to, I'm sure they will. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's possible that the power won't be on the far right. This could change.
okay.
I'd love to see some sort of mad coordination out of that steep. That would be good. Something that's not a fucking lache.
Yeah,
Honestly, give me a massive paddle. Bring back paddles. Paddles are cool.
yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah. The thing is, it'll be like a lache into a paddle.
Yeah, yeah.
No, the setting was very good. I'm not being negative. I just want to see something different.
Yeah. You know what I was missing? Like this 360 crazy camera angles we have for track and fields and
Yeah.
and tennis yesterday. Like in tennis it was pointless. Like they panned around like 180 and then they froze like the shot and then they did the shot. But like
Oh, really?
sick camera angles would be really good. Like flying with a drone around like a dynamic, like a dyno, but like I think they're not advanced there yet. Like,
They're not quite there yet. The best 3D renders are of the boulders, right? We saw a bit of that right at the start of the show.
yeah,
I think.
that wasn't too bad.
I don't think climbing's quite there yet with 360.
Yeah, let's see. I think it was, or maybe did they mention like hold brands like on the like? Okay,
No, not at all.
yeah,
Not at all.
not at all. Either like in Germany, like the guy he wouldn't know any of them.
Yeah.
If you know, like you know what's on the wall, but like I think they managed like to really concentrate on the moves or what's happening.
Yeah, it's
Like that.
it doesn't. The hold brands don't seem very relevant in
Yeah.
the Olympic scene. I don't think there's any point in talking about the brand of the hold on the commentary because
Yeah.
everyone who's watching doesn't care. Like maybe in the World Cups and the World Champs, it's more relevant because the crowd is the crowd is in. You know, they understand everything.
Yeah, that's true. Looked like a knowledgeable crowd. Okay. No, anything else? I really liked it.
I think my final thoughts are this is really positive. Everything went well. I really enjoyed the show. Generally, the stream, the commentary, the graphics, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and no technicalities or technical issues, and only like one top. I wonder like whether Toby like appealed it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Maybe not.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see another camera angle of what actually happened. It's entirely possible he wasn't even touching the underside of the volume.
Yeah, maybe I was just romanticizing it. I was like, that's so cool. He's sitting on his heel. Okay, yeah, Toby Roberts like finding another way again.
Yeah.
I will take a look at the replay later and I'll send you a message.
What was your highlight? Was there a highlight for you?
What was the highlight? Probably Jakob doing boulder number 1 because it just was just like for me. Yes, I'm doing good on my betting game here.
Yes,
Jakob will take it, and also how easy Sorato did boulder 2, but maybe Adam on the slab because like the way some people stepped on the footholds was like, okay, I know it's not comfortable. It's not really nice to step on it, but Adam was just like pure Punisher move, determination, changing my shoes. I'm stepping on something, I'm standing on it. Like the confidence, the experience. That was dope.
Just take the pain.
Yeah, and he's so happy.
So good at that.
Like if you top something, like he's so happy.
Yeah.
Like,
he really shows his emotions. True. True.
Yeah.
I think
that's what we need.
Yeah, more or less the same favourite moment for me was when Jakob did his top on men's 1. There was also a top on the slab. I think it was Sam.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds later. Super cool moment. The crowd finally got to see some tops. It was sick.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So tomorrow we're gonna watch women's boulder.
We're watching women's boulders tomorrow, and then we will come back together. Same place, same time.
Yeah.
Psyched.
So good. This is really good for the sport. Very exciting.
But what we are doing is really good for the sport, you mean?
Oh yeah. This too. Fucking hell.
We should just send an invoice to the IFSC, just like this. Maybe it's like one of these huge companies. They don't really care. Like,
no, they don't. They definitely don't care.
Another setting podcast. Okay, like send the money over. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Cool. Then see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Same time.
Yeah, same time.
Bye.
Bye.